Hi friends, this is Miss Ann here at the Warminster Township Free Library and welcome to another Fall Take and Make. Today we're going to be learning how to make our 3D snowman craft. So let's get started. So first we're going to talk about the supplies, what you're going to need to bring to the table, but also things that were included in your kit. So if you picked up a kit here at the library, what that kit included is a piece of construction paper, either blue or purple, a 3D snowman handout, white paint, Q-tips, and then what's not included, scissors, markers or crayons, and glue. Okay, so step one is to print out the snowman's body, hat, and arms if you haven't already done so, and then you're going to use those scissors to cut them out. So if you didn't pick up a kit, then you can print them out, otherwise you're going to cut them using the scissors. So if you already picked up the kit, that's what you're going to do. You're just going to cut everything out. The stuff to the left-hand side, so that one sheet with those three shapes that are identical, but one's big, one's medium-sized, and one's small, those are for the snowman's body. The rest of it is for decorations as well as the mound of snow. So again, cutting all of that out. So step two is, and you could alternate step 1 and 2. Once it's printed out, then you can color it and then cut them out. But step 2 is to color the arms, hat, and nose. I used it with markers, but you can use crayons. You will notice that with the hat, there's like that half circle, almost kind of like a moon crescent shape, that is a little bit lighter shade. I did that so that way you can see where to fold later on, but you will want to color in that side and the other side as well. I realized later on, I was like, oh, I should have colored the other side. You'll see why in a little bit. Okay. So step 3 is to glue down your mound of snow. So that half moon that's kind of large on the second page with the arms, the nose, the hat, that's actually the mound of snow. So that's going to be glued right down to the very bottom of your paper. Kind of like that. The remaining pieces, as I mentioned, are the body of your snowman. You're going to fold those little edges that have that line that go up and down. You're going to fold them away from you. There is a reason why. So this is kind of what it will look like. This is if you have the snowman face down. So these are the back sides, and you'll see the little flaps are kind of faced up. This is now becomes your glue tabs. That's where you're going to add the glue when you go to the next step. So step 5 is to glue down the largest piece first. The folded bits are now your glue tabs, as I mentioned. You can see in this picture, I glue on those tabs, and then you're going to glue it down. When you go to glue it down, you don't want it to be flat. You actually want to bring in those edges just a bit, like this way. So that way, that crescent actually lifts off the page and becomes 3-dimensional. 2D being like a drawing that's on a page, 3D is coming out. So we want that to be lifted. And so step 6 is to do that with the remaining 2 pieces stacked on top of itself. So you're slowly creating your snowman. So you do it with the last 2 pieces. That top piece becomes the head. The middle is the body where you can put the buttons later on, and then you have even the big base at the bottom. So step 7 is to glue on your hat. So now you see that more defined, that half center that's a little grayish shaded. In the next picture, what you're going to do is you're going to fold that up towards you. And it's going to look like that. You're going to fold it up towards you so that it kind of covers. That's going to become the brim of your hat. And when you glue it on top, it's actually going to look like it's coming out towards you. So when you flip that over, again, I recommend coloring the other side. I learned when I was doing this was a mistake on my end, that I should have colored the other side. And you'll see why, because if you were to look down from the bottom page, you will actually see the white. You want to make sure that it's all black. but the backside you will glue. You're going to glue it down. And again, you can add a little bit of glue to the brim of the hat that you folded, but it's not necessary. And then you go and glue it down. And so it's going to look like that. It's almost going to look, because we folded it, and as you can see from this picture, that if I had shaded it underneath, that would have been preferred. But that's what it will look like. So step 7, so continuing on, it should look like this as you go. The next step, step 8, is to do the same with the nose. Again, that line that cuts across, so it looks like a triangle kind of with a half circle on the end. That half circle becomes the glue tab. You'll fold it either way. Doesn't matter with I use markers. It wouldn't matter with markers because it bled through a little bit. So it's orange on both sides. You fold the nose, that becomes the glue tab, and then you're going to glue it to the center of the topmost mound. I mentioned that smallest bit, the white bit, that's the head. So you're going to glue it on top of the head in the center, and then creating that nose that kind of also comes off the page. So the lastly, when it comes to all these gluing pieces, we want to glue the arms. I noticed when I did this that the arms are really long. You might want really, really wacky, inflatable, arms really long. I ended up using scissors and I just trimmed them a little bit. I had the scissors out, so I gave his arms a little bit of a haircut and made them a little smaller. And then you just glue them off to either side. Step 10, we want to give our snowman a face. So just using a marker, I recommend a marker for this one. You can create the eyes, a mouth, and some buttons. I just do little dots. You can also use paint. That would be another good one if you had like black paint. Crayons might not work as good because you really do have to press down. You still could do it, but markers are going to be ideal for this. So if you can see in the background, that is what it'll look like, but the last step is to do the background and add some snowflakes, some snowflake effects. So this, if you were doing this at home and you didn't have any of the supplies, we will post with this, a link to the cutout so you can print them out on your own if you'd like. One of the other things you can do is mix glue with glitter and do the same thing. My recommendation is use Q-tips or a little brush. Mix the glitter into the glue. It's really great. You can get a sparkly effect. You can actually paint the background. We provided paint in ours, white paint, and Q-tips. So with the Q-tips, you just dip them into the white paint and you can add little snowflakes in the background. So using the Q-tips, add the white dots to the background as you're seeing there. So because we used paint, and if you were using glue, it would be the same situation. Let it dry before you post it anywhere, and enjoy your three-dimensional snowman. Your three-dimensional snowman meaning he is coming out of the page, and you can kind of see he just kind of leaps off the page there. Alright, you guys, we're done with our Take and Make this time around. If you haven't already done so, check out our YouTube channel. We have more crafts just like this one, so if you really like this one, we've got even more. We even have holiday crafts throughout the month of December, so you can check those out too. And so like and subscribe to the Warminster Library on YouTube. And as always, we hope to see you very soon at the Warminster Township Free Library.